For the third time, the city of Recklinghausen is conducting a European project within the framework of the Europe for Citizens program. The town, with its 120,000 inhabitants, is situated in the industrial area of the so-called Ruhrgebiet, Germany. With its network of 6 partner cities, Douai, Dordrecht, Akko, Schmalkalden, Preston and Bütom, the town is an ideal partner for a European project this size. Throughout the years, Die Brücke, the city's Institute for Intercultural Contacts and Integration, has spread its network to other European countries. For example, Romania and Bulgaria, Slovenia, Hungary and many others. Let's hear the mayor of the city, Christoph Tesche, who is proud that Recklinghausen is heavily involved in this challenging effort, Europe for Citizens.
Liebe Freundinnen und Freunde in Europa, ich freue mich, dass wir als Stadt Recklinghausen bereits zum 3. Mal in Folge von der Europäischen Union gefördert werden. So ist es möglich, in den kommenden 2 Jahren uns gegenseitig oft zu besuchen, spannende Begegnungen zu haben und uns auszutauschen rund um das Thema Europa. Gerade in der heutigen Zeit ist es wichtig, dass wir uns daran erinnern, dass Europa uns Frieden, Freiheit, Offenheit, Toleranz und Wohlstand gebracht hat.
The project started with a meeting of all delegations in Recklinghausen, an excursion to a refugee home and an exchange of concepts how to deal with a challenge like this. Followed by a concert of Arabund, a band formed by German and refugee musicians.
Syrien. Ja, ich auch. Ich komme aus Syrien.
Yeah.
Germany.
Syria.
Persian. I'm from Russia.
During the reception in the evening, the delegations got to know each other and expressed their wishes for family Europe.
Mes chers amis, vive la famille européenne, la famille du vivre ensemble, du partage, de la solidarité. Vous êtes les bienvenus en France.
Auch in ihrem Eintreten für die christlichen Minderheiten in der Welt, die immer mehr verfolgt werden.
Frau Dr. Sommer, wenn wir die EU einmal mit einer Patchwork-Familie vergleichen, was würden Sie sagen, wäre nötig, um das manchmal etwas verloren gegangene Familiengefühl mehr zu beleben?
Ja, man müsste einfach mehr miteinander reden, ja, und sich besser austauschen, dass auch wirklich jeder weiß, dass er seine Probleme in der Familie vortragen kann und dass er dann aber auch Unterstützung findet. Ich glaube, das ist das Allerwichtigste in einer Familie, aber auch nicht nur in einer Patchwork-Familie, aber eben auch in der Europäischen Union.
One of the many conferences of the project took place in Varna, Bulgaria, the European Youth Capital 2017. The main themes of the presentations, seminars and discussions were youth employment and entrepreneurship, the prevention of radicalization and various youth cooperation projects. But what about young people's feelings towards their own country and the European Union? And to be proud of one's country, to show attachment and responsibility, does not mean that one cannot feel exactly the same for Europe.
Well, I travel a lot and I have friends in many different countries, and sometimes I feel like a European and a German.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I do.
Visit to the Social Tea House, a place for business mentorship for orphans and a co-working space under one roof.
Something new in the city that will work both in the social field for these boys and girls from the social care institutions, but also will fill a gap in our city.
Is the young generation interested in the European Union, and what is your impression to this?
I think that young generation, especially in recent years, is when we are already for 1 decade part of the European family, definitely sees the advantages and the benefits of being part of European Union, and especially this generation is raised with European values, which are really important to us, makes us feel more from part of the European family in terms of education and employment and peace and values.
Nowadays, young generation is the European Union. Basically, before there used to be borders, but the new generation is born without feeling any borders. So for them, European Union is just like one country. They know that they can travel for free. They know that they can go on Erasmus Plus project study somewhere abroad. They already have friends from around whole Europe and been already at the age of 12, 13, maybe 14 years old.
The Youth Parliament of Recklinghausen and some active young people from Varna organized a live Facebook TV session with over 3,000 clicks in the social media.
I try to collaborate and to bring about something to the city. I like working with some voluntary organizations as well as European Bridge.
Vielen Dank und noch einen schönen Tag. Okay.
May 2017. A delegation from the city of Recklinghausen, Germany, on a visit to its sister town Douai in northern France. Throughout excursions, meetings and lectures, many aspects of the common European background were discussed. After a welcome of Douai's mayor, Mr. Frédéric Chéreau, the program started with a visit to the local archive, where important documents of the town history are saved, in particular pictures and documents of the two world wars.
Ja, unsere Partnerstadt Douai ist im 20. Jahrhundert.
Our sister town Douai in the 20th century was involved in two world wars. You meet people that throughout generations have experienced when nations in Europe lead a war against each other. And in so far it is so wonderful to visit in a matter of course and meet in the spirit of the European thought. A meeting at the Maison de l'Europe, the House of Europe in Douai, the first of more than 30 in France, where different ideas of new collaborations were discussed. What advice would you give young people about the European Union?
Discover it, travel. There's so much that Europe offers to the young people today. There's Erasmus Plus. There's so many opportunities. You can work, you can travel, you can study anywhere, you can learn languages. In doing that, you will learn what Europe is. So that's my advice for young people today.
Europa bedeutet für mich, sich frei bewegen.
For me, Europe means moving freely, paying with one currency. I can study or do a vocational training in whatever country I want.
Zum Beispiel mit Erasmus.
Europe means to me that you have very much colors, very much cultures, and it just opened my mind.
Excursion to the World War I Memorial, Notre-Dame de Lorette, in Ablain-Saint-Nazaire and the Ring of Memory. In this oval ring of remembrance, the names of 600,000 soldiers killed in the Nord-Pas-de-Calais region are engraved in over 500 steels. Erwin Carsten experienced the Second World War. His first idea is that we had such a long period of peace, which is basically a result of the founding of the European Union.
Und wir können eigentlich nur hoffen.
And we can only hope, with the war and post-war experiences I had, that this peace will last for centuries more, which is not normal and self-understood when we look at world politics today.
Das weltpolitische Umfeld ansehen.
In this context, every year on Memorial Day, the German Volkstrauertag, different delegations met to remember the millions of victims of two world wars. Recklinghausen's Catholic Propst Jürgen Quante held a memorable speech about learning from history and withstand certain developments of today, leading to hatred and destruction.
Die Würde der Toten gebietet es, dass wir allen wieder aufflackernden Bewegungen, die damals zu ihrem Tod geführt haben, heute widerstehen.
His memorable speech was followed by a wreath laying at the monument in the town center, in which, beneath others, representatives of the Recklinghausen Children and Youth Parliament took part. The fifth journey led the delegations to the partner city Bytom in Poland. The various aspects of civic participation and democratic engagement have been the main aspects of a back to the roots, what unites Europe. Of course, many young people asked questions during their impressive visit to Auschwitz.
What do you think about this project? Why is it important for you?
Hi, my name is Anna. I think this project is important because we have to remember what happened in the past and imply that to our present for the better future in Europe.
Journey to Baia Sprie, Romania. Landing in Cluj-Napoca, Transylvania, the 6th EU meeting is taking place in a mountain area of the complex tourist Suyor in Baia Sprie, Romania. The mayor of Baia Sprie opened the conference by welcoming the delegations from Hungary, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Germany and Romania, followed by presentations and debates concerning structural change within the regions, solutions and ideas for a changing industrial environment.
Das Problem, wie man mit den alten großen, mit den Industriebrachen umgeht, wird in Recklinghausen und in anderen Städten dadurch gelöst, dass man zum Beispiel auch Freizeitparks schafft.
Especially the problem of migration of young people was discussed.
Okay. Also are attracted by the better social. There is a simple rule: people follow the money.
We think it's an issue that should be discussed, and a lot of measures could be done. It's nice that some of the cities and countries shared some possibilities that they created for young people in order to keep them in their own countries. For example, the Hungarian partners shared these social benefits and policies that the local authorities provide for them to keep them in their own country. For example, free apartments that they lent for young people for a period of 1 or 2 years in order to stimulate them to find a good job and remain in their own country.
Pointing out the similar backgrounds, the mayor of Baia Sprie summed up this EU meeting in Romania.
Of course, this used to be a very important mining area for gold, silver and other metals. 10 years ago, everything stopped. Now, year by year, the town is starting to change. One of the direction is the nature and the tourism related to it. We are trying now to develop and to find fields to develop other industries. I've learned a lot. For example, with this meeting, I saw how other towns created solutions to pass over these difficult times when industry is changing or economy is changing or the structure of the population is changing. These ideas help us a lot, and any step forward is a big step for us.
Dordrecht. The 7th EU meeting conducted by Die Brücke is taking place in one of the oldest cities of the Netherlands, partner city of Recklinghausen, Germany and Varna, Bulgaria. The town, with its population of 118,000, is located in the province of South Holland, and has a rich history and culture. The mayor of Dordrecht opened the conference by welcoming the delegations from Bulgaria and Germany.
Herzlich willkommen in Dordrecht, der ältesten Stadt Hollands. Es freut mich sehr, dass ich heute eine Delegation aus Recklinghausen, aber auch unsere bulgarische Partnerstadt Varna begrüßen kann.
The opening was followed by a series of visits to interesting institutions, insightful presentations and debates concerning the topics, among others, Dutch concepts and policies towards migrants and refugees, challenges of demographic change for the involved municipalities. A visit to the Sociale Dienst of Dordrecht, where service to people in need, job seekers and migrants with a granted asylum status is conducted under one roof for 7 municipalities.
And start a new life and a white future and
an exemplary concept to learn from.
Ich war zum ersten Mal dort in einem sozialen Dienst und vor allem in Dordrecht. Wo ich da reingegangen bin, ich dachte, dass wir in einem Café sind, weil die Atmosphäre eine ganz andere war im Vergleich zu uns in Deutschland. Das System seit 3 Jahren soll sehr, sehr erfolgreich sein, dass die Leute sofort in die Gesellschaft integriert werden. Und das ist wichtig, dass sie eine Arbeit bekommen, dass sie eine Wohnung bekommen, dass sie die deutsche Sprache gut sprechen können. Und ich glaube, dass man so viel mit dem System vieles erreichen kann.
The second visit led the delegations to the Colorit, a multifunctional center where a ground school is situated, language learning groups, transitional classes, a school library and even a meeting place for old and dement people. The 7th EU meeting was completed in the Krabbehoeve with an interesting presentation of a Muslim retirement home, followed by a debate about the process of communicating opinions and feelings towards the topics of racism, religion and radicalism with respect to social stability. The debate was initiated by RNUT, an agency implemented by the Dutch state to prevent radicalization, crime, failure and exclusion. All in all, the delegations during this meeting in Dordrecht had a lot of impressions, insights into interesting concepts to take home for evaluation. Family Europe is spread in the social media on our own Facebook channel, where all the activities are documented in photos, articles and film documentations. March 2019. Here in Recklinghausen, the final meeting of the 2 years lasting EU project took place. The meeting started with a guided tour through new highlights in the city of Recklinghausen, including the new public library and the renovated town hall. The tour was led by Gerd Schenk, one of the city's tour guides, followed by an interesting lecture, 30 Years Fall of the Berlin Wall, held by Jürgen Pohl, Director of the Community College, VHS. 2 more presentations in the BIZ, an education center of commerce, about a personality development project for young pupils, completed the program. Finally, all delegations that were involved in this EU project participated in a final evaluation of all the meetings and discussed possible topics for a new common project. An evening festivity in which friendship and this EU-wide exchange of ideas and experiences was celebrated. The Recklinghausen Children and Youth Choir heartfully accompanied this wonderful evening.
Ja, 2 schöne Jahre gehen zu Ende. Wir haben in Recklinghausen gestartet, vor 2 Jahren im März. Wir enden heute hier im März in Recklinghausen und wir sind mit Sicherheit einander näher gekommen. Wir haben uns ausgetauscht, wir haben näher zueinander gefunden, es haben sich Freundschaften gebildet und ich wünsche mir, dass dieses Europa noch mehr zusammenwächst. Am 26. Mai ist die Europawahl und hier brauchte ich niemanden zu überzeugen, dass es wichtig ist, wählen zu gehen, dass es wichtig ist, eine Partei zu wählen, die für Europa steht, damit Europa stark bleibt und damit wir alle weiter in Frieden, Freiheit und in einer wunderschönen Demokratie leben können. Ich danke allen Beteiligten, die sich für diese 2 Jahre so eingesetzt haben, die diese Veranstaltungsreihe mitgeprägt haben und die dafür gesorgt haben, dass wir mit diesem Projekt ein gutes Beispiel für europäische Integration gegeben haben. Alles Gute!